a school where learning goes beyond textbooks and into the realm of real-world action. Welcome to Rehan School, the world's first AI-enabled school. This isn't your typical school. It's a revolutionary hub of creativity and empowerment. At Rehan School, we're rewriting the rules of education for the post-AI world. No more memorizing facts. It's all about taking action, communicating effectively, and leveraging the power of the internet and AI. Every student at Rehan School is equipped with a laptop, internet, and a mobile phone. They're not just learners, they're active participants in the digital age. Each child is assigned an SDG goal, transforming their last name into a voila. They watch TEDx videos, connect with speakers, and create impactful videos and podcasts using AI tools. But it's not just about academics. At Rehan School, we believe in nurturing not only the mind, but also the soul. Daily yoga and meditation sessions ensure our students find inner peace. The power of networking and the internet pave the way for 7th grade students to make $500 a month. Our goal is to produce phenomenal networkers, speakers, and listeners, the future Greta Thunbergs, Malalas, Muhammad Ali Jinnahs, and Gandhis. Join us in this extraordinary journey. You're invited to witness the magic of Rehan School, become part of our global community, and perhaps be an ambassador of this groundbreaking approach to education. Visit Rehan School today.
Great school.
Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to our interview with Michael Ballard. Beacon of resilience and empowerment in a world full of challenges. I am Anne Favola, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Michael about his mission in Ignite the fire of resilience within individuals and organizations. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much. My honor.
Thank you. Michael, first of all, please introduce yourself for my viewers.
Certainly. Thank you. So I'm Michael Ballard, as it says on the screen, from Resiliency for Life. And I got very interested in resiliency at an early age. I didn't know it was called resiliency, but that's what it was based on the terms we use these days. Early in my education in grade 1, my teacher wisely figured out within 3 weeks that this brain of Michael's was not a normal brain. That's not good or bad. It just means that school was difficult. Printing, spelling, grammar, punctuation. So she wrote my parents within 3 weeks. She wrote them a letter. She didn't say Michael was dumb as a stump or was never going to pass school. It's called framing. She framed it that Michael has the following challenges: printing, hand movement, pressure, and I still do, 60 plus years later. However, she said, here's where the professional framing of attributes shone through, shows you how professional she was. She could have just focused on this, said, stupid kid, not going to make it past grade 4 or grade 8. Instead, she said, he's got these issues. He has to do his best, but he's got these other issues that make him the best in the classroom and very amazing in the playground. She was talking about social emotional skills. So that was a huge gift, because school after grade 1 got tough because the grade 2 teacher and others were not as insightful as her. So I should do better. I was doing my best, and it wasn't even close to being adequate. So resiliency is about what are your challenges, what gets in the way of you, and what are your opportunities and challenges. And then if you learn some skills, how do you manage what gets in the way? How can you ask for help? And how can you use this to go further and faster to stay safer with better outcomes? So resiliency is about beliefs and values and how we react, or how do we reflect and respond? because I can't speak for your country, but in my country, we have way too many people reacting to everything. This is this, and this is this, and this person's this, and this is. How about reflecting on, I wonder why they would do that, and then articulately responding. So I have some local people. Some of them impress me to no end, and I've gone out of my way to meet them and thank them for their community service and the work they do. And there's have a couple of people after reflecting where I've been able to say, you are not doing this, and yet you got elected to represent us. Why are you allowing people to do this on your social media page? It's inappropriate, and it makes me wonder what you are really. So I didn't use any foul language. I just was polite. It's called speaking truth to power. So being resilient is our beliefs and values, our attitude helps us go in a safer, more productive direction if we pay attention. We all get caught up in the hurry, go, things to do. That's being human. But it doesn't mean we have to get stuck there. So resiliency, I love it because it integrates into my life. It supplements my faith. It doesn't replace it. It supplements everything my parents taught me. I like that. I've been taught resiliency skills from my phys ed teacher in grade 9, my physical teacher for fitness. I had a social studies economics teacher for grade 12 teach me a couple of resiliency skills. It's out there all the time if you're open to listen and use it. And thank you for the kind words that we're getting. So that's resiliency to get started.
Thank you. Wonderful your introduction. My first question is your screen. What makes you passionate about helping others?
Well, that's a great question. A long time ago at 17, grade 10, grade 11, I don't remember the exact year anymore, I was diagnosed with a health issue for my digestive tract. And my medical doctor said, with good intentions, there's nothing you can do. Well, that might be true in his world, but in my family, you're not allowed to live in the world of there's nothing you can do. You can visit it to feel helpless and hopeless for a little while, because my digestive tract illness meant that I had a lot of bloating and bleeding, and I had fat pants. My 30-inch waistline was 34 inches when my illness acted up. Not fun. So after a couple of months of going, this hurts, trying not to be too angry, I felt like my body was fighting me. I went, wait a minute. My parents have told me a long time, and so have my grandparents and a couple of teachers, you can't stay stuck in the land of nothing you can do. There's always something you can do. You can pray on it. You can ask for help. You can find other people going through the same thing, saying, how do you cope? Luckily for me, I was old enough to have gotten a driver's license and access to a car. I drove to my local university that had just opened up a year or 2 years previous. And I found a librarian with a master's in library science. Nothing wrong with Google or Google Scholar, all vital resources. But to me, maybe it's my age, there's nothing better than a librarian with a master's in library science. Here's what I'm looking for: information on how to manage life with chronic illness. Oh, Michael, we've had some things in from 2 U.S. and a Canadian university in the last year, published papers. Here, follow me. Up the aisles, down the aisles. Here you go. You can't sign them out. They're research papers, but you can read them. Can I photocopy them? Yes, the front pages. Oh, okay. So I found out about the work of the Mind Body Clinic at Harvard Medical School. I came home a couple of years later. There's a book published. I realized that these skills are very related to the same things that my faith teaches me, that my phys ed teacher taught me. I took martial arts for 4 years. Let's be clear. I am not a good martial artist. I was best efforts, but I didn't get past orange belt in 4 years. I went 2 to 4 nights a week when I wasn't having to study or work to earn money. But wow, this aligns with faith. My parents, how they raised me. It aligns with martial arts. It aligns with my phys ed teacher. I got to do this. Well, within a year, I went 3 years with no symptoms of my chronic illness, not a cure. Under the microscope every year when I went, they go, you still have this, but no symptoms? A tiny bit of bloating, but no pain. And I could feel the little heat on my cheeks once a month, which was a symptom. But nah, it's like it's not even there. Wow. So resiliency is looking for options to manage things, giving things away in prayer that you can't change at all, asking for help, finding others that have dealt with it. And a key point is ask somebody you trust. Sometimes, and this gets people to go, huh? Did he just say that? Sometimes the people that we should ask for help are people we trust, because sometimes people we love mean well, but they can get in the way or make it worse because they don't know any better. So it's not a character flaw or a moral weakness on their part, but they don't know any better. So it's controversial to say that. I know that, but it has to be somebody we trust that knows how to help you get things accomplished. So I was blessed to have two parents that didn't get in my way, but I have had friends that lived in places and locations where they weren't safe. My one friend got thrown down a set of stairs by an uncle who didn't like to be questioned about anything. I was blessed to be in a loving home with two loving parents. So that's why I say ask somebody you trust. It's controversial for some, but I want everybody to be safe 100% of the time. Nobody's safe 100% of the time, but being resilient means you go to your way to be safer than you might otherwise be by paying attention. So that's when I really got interested in resiliency, because there's were answer in a publicly funded university 40 minutes down the road. I mean, wow. My medical doctor, oh, I heard of that, but that's not what we do. Oh, I see. So you diagnose me and then tell me I'm hopeless. Live with the pain. No, that's not being a full, complete healer. But then I found out our medical system is not about healing. It's about managing illness. It's not about wellness. But that's another whole discussion, another time. So that's resilience in a nutshell. Look for answers to manage. Look for answers to improve, to stay safe, to have better outcomes.
Wonderful. My next question is on your screen. How do you help people become stronger?
Excellent question. Well, you and I, from the day we're born, have people talking about life, about us, about everything around us. So one of my high school acquaintances was very optimistic. He wouldn't say, I don't know how to do this. He'd say, I haven't learned how to do it yet. He ended up with a 97% average. He was number one trumpet in the symphony band, the concert band, the jazz band. In grade 11, he was the highest income earner in the school, because I can't speak for your classroom culture, but I was always fascinated and interested in how did he at 17 drive a car nicer than everybody but the school principal. So we would talk business. I have a lawn care business. I have 11 lawns. I made more money by having more lawns to cut. It didn't dawn on me to charge an extra quarter an hour and hire people to cut lawns for me. Then I could have had 40 lawns and I could have made more money with the same effort. But that was me from my perspective, not good or bad. His dad gave him a loan. He bought 2 sandwich machines. And every morning at 4 a.m, he went to the sandwich company that made sandwiches, bought so many sandwiches, went to the machines by 6, filled them up, took out the extra stale, went to school, went to the bank after school with the quarters from the sandwich machine, repeat. And at the end of a few months, he was able to buy a drink machine. And in a few more months, 2 more sandwiches machine. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the time he went to university, he was driving, his words, not mine, an ugly station wagon. It was only 1 model year old, paid for, no money owed, by the sandwich machines. I got on to get a chauffeur's license. We don't have those anymore. To drive a tow truck and a snowplow, which paid more an hour than cutting grass. So I was doing well, but he had the mind of an entrepreneur. I had the mind of a worker. I was going up, but he was going out and up. So part of being resilient is, how do you define yourself? He was always saying, I don't know how to do this. He always said, I haven't learned how. I would say, I don't know how to do that. I wonder if I can. He didn't go through all that stuff. I just don't know how to do it yet, is basically what he said. So our mindset, our beliefs and values about how we define things. Before we went on air, you and I had audio issues. That's the third microphone I used. Now my audio is coming through my phone, and for some reason my computer can do video really well and not audio. We'll figure it out, but we didn't give up. So resiliency is, how do you define yourself, and how do you define what's coming at you in a way to keep safer, more productive, with best outcomes. And so I have a friend who's a male model. He does other things as well. He's a business consultant, but along the way, his wife got some audio, some video, and some photo modeling. And she said, you have to come with me and watch, because you can say no to all the jobs and only do 5 or 6 a year, but you could make a year's income in 6 shoots. So I am not jealous of him. I have learned to say words differently now. So I tease him saying, I don't think it's fair that you got a double helping of handsome when all I have is cute. It's silly, but it's not getting in the way of our relationship. So I like to lift others up. So when I say he got a double helping of handsome, he's 39, looks 29, and good for him. So being resilient is about your beliefs and values, how you interact with yourself in here, the words you use, the phrases, and how you've allowed others to define you. Sometimes we have to go through there and sweep it away and get rid of some things. I had a friend of my parents who's no longer a friend of my parents. My parents have passed, but she could be loving with food. And when my mom and dad had an income issue for a year, she was loving with clothes to make sure we all had good school clothes. But when she opened her mouth, she was nasty. Why? I don't know. I was only 5 years old and she said nasty things to me. So that tells you the pain she's in. She was sharing it and she didn't know any better. Yet she showed up with home-cooked meals that were the best. Showed up with good clothes for me to go to school and worship. They were the best. So you can't judge her 100% as nasty. Loving with food and loving with clothes and behavior that was great. But words, wow, painful. Luckily, my mom and dad understood that. And they didn't let me have much or very little alone time other than when they left the room to go to the bathroom. So resiliency, it's important to pay attention to every day.
Wonderful answer, Michael. My next question is on your screen. Can you
Yes.
share a story about someone we helped?
Oh, one of my favorite stories from quite a while ago. I get a call from a mom. My son is in senior kindergarten, so he's 5. When he was in junior kindergarten, he witnessed a crime. Somebody tried to kill his mother. He saved her life by phoning 911. I get really emotional because when you're 4 years old, to have the wherewithal not to hide under the bed when your mom's being attacked, and you pick up the phone and you call for help. Wow. He was my hero the day I met him. Anyways, a year later, he gets a new teacher. All I can think of is it's called being triggered. This teacher's voice, I believe, sounded like the attackers to his mom. So he was acting out. He was getting angry, punching the teacher, throwing his chair, throwing things. So the school was going to kick him out. The mother was going to a child therapist with him, but no change in behavior after 18 or 20 sessions. Expensive too. Now, workplace, she had a good workplace employee assistance program. So workplace paid $150 for each session, and the mom paid $32. So not cheap. A lot of money, $182 in the 1990s. She said, but there's no change in behavior. So did this expert teach him any skills? No. So part of being resilient is learning some skills, because it's called your inner locus of control, your inner world. How do you define yourself? So when I'm talked about earlier, the tall, dark, handsome gentleman that does some male modeling on occasion. I could be envious that he's tall and handsome. I could be envious that he has perfect teeth. Or I just tease him that he got a double helping of handsome, but I have cute. So I helped this young man learn 5 or 6 skills. I'm going to share a couple with you. One of them for calmness is triangle breathing. Finger at the top, breathe in on 4, hold, exhale. You normally do that twice. That helps oxygenate your brain, slow down your heart rate, help you get calmer, more centered. So in grade 3, years after kindergarten, his teacher says, now I'm going to give you a test every Thursday. Doesn't count for grades. I just want to see if I'm being a good teacher and you're paying attention and we're working together well. I liked the teacher as soon as he said that. Less pressure on the kids. So the teacher said to the mother at the end of the year, this one puts up his hand and said, sir, my friend Michael, I love it when a child I barely know calls me his good friend. He says if I practice triangle breathing and belly breathing, it'll help my brains come out on the test. So what is he saying? With calmness of mind and body, it will lower or make my anxiety disappear so I can concentrate and answer the questions clearly. Teacher said, I got him to practice belly breathing and triangle breathing before every test, every Thursday. Best class in 9 years I've ever had. Typically, there's always that one child that has to go to the bathroom 3 times in a 20-minute test. Not this year. Nobody. This young man is a leader. So I taught him belly breathing, triangle breathing. I taught him what I call turtle walking. I have another version called slow racing and another version called tortoise walking. They're all very similar. Basically, it's mindful walking. Foot down, next foot right in front, just kissing your heel. And you walk really slowly and you bend down at the knees and you're paying attention to your center of gravity and you do it so slow you almost fall over. And what is that doing? It's getting you to calm down, helping your brain function at a slower speed so you're more likely to access what you're doing, how you're doing it. So instead of reacting, you're reflecting so you can respond in healthier, safer manners. So that young gentleman is one of my heroes because he absorbed the 5 skills. First time we practiced slow racing, heel toe across the room. He heard race. Boom! He went across the room and he was across the other room and I'd only done 3 of these. I won, he says. And I said, well, if it was fast racing, you nailed it. Perfect. But this is slow racing. And so I want you to practice slow racing. He went all red because he made a mistake. I said, we're learning. It's not a mistake. You tried. That's the win. That's spectacular. I'm not here to control you, right or wrong. I'm here to teach you some things I had to learn because I had stuff too to conquer. Oh, so we did slow racing. I made sure he won. We did slow racing again. I made sure he won. I won the 3rd time. And then the 4th time, we had a tie. After all, I am the adult. You got to let the pupil win, especially when they're that age. So he's one of my heroes because he listened. Now we have some nighttime stories for practicing calmness. And one of the things with slow racing, turtle walking is visualization, practicing in your mind. What are the skills? Going slow. Now, I know for a fact that 8 out of 10 of us can visualize pretty darn well, but something out of 100, something like 17 or 18 out of 100 can't visualize in great detail, and about 3 out of 100 can't visualize at all. So it's not a character flaw. It's about our brains are all different. And if you can't visualize, it's a gift because you do it differently. I was reading an article where somebody can see words. They can't visualize. So when I say, close your eyes and see red glasses, they see the words, red glasses. How cool is that? I can see the red glasses. I can turn them into blue framed glasses. I'm sort of at the top end of visual skills. So anyways, So that's one of the people that I helped change. And I was so excited for him because within a few weeks at school in senior kindergarten, the teacher said, he's like a new child. He doesn't act out. He's calm. He's reflective. Wow. And so when he moved with his mother, I teased him. I said, I don't remember you asking permission to move. You're a good friend now. I'm going to miss you. So I just love that I could help a 5-year-old turn into an 8-year-old that had calmness and focus and reflection. And now that once he got to be 8 or 9, yes, he might need to go see a therapist to talk about that violence that he witnessed, because we don't want it to get stuck in there and not come out. It's got to be discussed and healed. But at least I gave him the skills that he didn't get kicked out of school. So that's one of my pride and joy moments, to help a child be calm enough to focus and keep his studies going forward. This is my coffee mug, and it's very silly. It says, shh. In other words, when the cup's full, don't talk to me. Then it says, not yet, when I'm half full. And when it's down low, now you can speak. I have enough coffee in me. It's nonsense, but it's fun.
Thank you so much, Michael, for your insight and inspiring with us today. Your dedication to resilience and empowerment is truly inspiring, and I'm sure our audience has gained a valuable knowledge from your conversation. Your work is making a positive impact, and we are grateful for the difference you're making in the world. Wishing you continued success in all your endeavors, and may you continue to be a beacon of resilience for us all. Take care and keep shining bright.
Thank
Bye.
you. I would ask your viewers to come and visit me, Resiliency for Life, in Facebook. We have a resiliency page and a resiliency group, all free.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.